Here's your Daily Planet for Tuesday, January 7th, 2020. I'm Jimmy Olsen. Patrick Holmes, big Kansas City Chiefs fan. Well, he has been extended a 10-year contract. It's worth more than $50 million. It was announced in a highlight video with the caption saying, "Here to stay." Charlize Theron, she a little heartbroken. Going to be a new Mad Max movie spinoff about her Fury Road character, Ferocia. Well, she is not going to be in the prequel. They're looking for a younger actress. So she's not too happy about that. For the 4th of July, Dr. Pimple Popper, Sandra Lee, she posted a 13-minute video, close-up pimple popping, which she referred to as pops and fireworks. I have a few friends that like watching that, so I'm sure that's what they spent doing on the 4th of July. You've not heard, sources say that 87-year-old Yoko Ono not leaving home too much. In fact, she needs 24-hour care. Mentally, still sharp as ever. And she has a dinner with her son, Sean Lennon, several times a week. Yeah, we did talk yesterday about the loss of country legend Charlie Daniels, and there were a lot of top musicians that paid tribute to him yesterday, including Trace Adkins, Luke Bryan, Jason Aldean, Carrie Underwood, Tim McGraw, Brad Paisley, and Dolly Parton, who said, well, the devil went down to Georgia, but Charlie Daniels, he went straight to heaven. A few fun facts for you today. Hot Pockets, did you know this? They were called chunk stuffers when they debuted in the 1970s. Also, did you ever want to have Blockbuster stock? Well, you still can. It's now penny stock that trades under the stock label BLIAQ, which stands for BB Liquidating. Now, here's something interesting. Your eardrums, well, they can rupture at 150 decibels. Slightly louder than a jet engine going off right next to you. Now, your lungs, though, they would rupture at 200 decibels. But it's impossible for the sound to be higher than 194 decibels because the air breaks down during the sound waves. So if the air breaks down during the sound waves, how were they able to figure out that your lungs rupture at 200 decibels? The first canceled show to get an Emmy nomination, it was back in 2007. It was called Drive. It was a show about a cross-country car race on Fox that was canceled after 4 episodes, and it was nominated for Outstanding Visual Effects. So we've all heard the phrase, the 7-year itch. Well, it was to describe scabies, because back before they could be treated, they lasted for 7 years and then became a metaphor for a situation with no hope of relief. Usually that was boring marriages. So during the pandemic, one of the most popular things to do, well, watching TV. In fact, they're saying, according to a new poll, because of this, they've had probably the average of 16 pounds added to the waistline. Also, another popular activity was drinking. In fact, they found that 93% of drinkers in March, 69%, they would do Zoom calls with friends and family. And basically, they created their own friendship happy hour, and they were eating and drinking while they were spending time on the Zoom call. Vegetables, the top 10 ranked vegetables. So what do you like for your favorite vegetable? Coming in at number 10, okra, radish is also in there, artichokes, eggplant, Brussels sprouts, asparagus, peas, as we are into that top 5, broccoli, carrots, and number 1, 90% of people like potatoes. That was the top-ranked vegetable. So do you have your very own 15 minutes of fame? According to people on Reddit, they're sharing their stories, which include things like getting on the news for falling down, being in the background of a movie, or getting 100,000 likes on YouTube. Where do you fall into any of those categories? Did you get your 15 minutes of fame? I don't know if you heard about a bald eagle that was trapped in a tree in Alaska. He was actually rescued, though, on the 4th of July with some good little news happening around the area. Also, a stranger, this happened in Connecticut, rescued 2 people from a burning house, including a woman in a wheelchair. A guy took a photo of his neighbor cutting their shared grass right up to the line between their property. Yeah, it's going viral. They're looking for whatever they can on YouTube to watch. 4 people won a contest held by a YouTuber called Mr. Beast to see who could keep their finger on their phone the longest. The prize, $25,000, but after more than 70 hours, Mr. Beast gave the final four contests each $20,000. There was a bachelor party in Austria. Ended up when a guy held a baby viper to his mouth. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. He probably shouldn't have either. It ended up biting his tongue. I don't know if you heard this, J.M. Smucker Company. They've recalled a line of Natural Balance cat food because it could potentially have a deadly chemical in it. Also, there were some employees at a Jimmy John's in Georgia. They have been fired after they made a noose out of dough and pretended to hang each other. Okay. There's a woman in New York City who called the cops on a black guy who was bird watching. She has been charged with filing a false police report. A couple videos that are going viral on YouTube if you've not seen them yet. One, there is a guy who reenacts the long audio pause between two reporters. You know that awkward delay that happens when you've got the news anchor talking to the reporter on location? Yeah, I guess there's always been that painfully long silence while on location, so he decided to reenact that for everyone. Also, a man learned to talk backwards. You can check out his backwards video on YouTube as well. Celebrating their birthday today, Ringo Starr, he is 80. Dylan Sprayberry, 22. He was Liam on Teen Wolf. Maddie Marlowe, 25 today, half the team of Maddie and Tay. Also, 5 Seconds of Summer drummer, Ashton Irwin, 26. From Fifth Harmony, Allie Brooke, she is 27. Yu Hewson, 29 today. She's Bono's daughter. Michelle Kwan turns 40 today, figure skater and Olympic silver medalist. Cree Summer, 51. Freddie on A Different World. Remember that TV show? And then Georgia Fox, 52. She was Sarah Seidel on CSI. Jim Gaffigan also celebrating a birthday today. He is 54. Billy Campbell is 61. Joey Scarberry from The Greatest American Hero sang the theme song. He's 65. Shelley Duvall, she is 71. Doc Severinsen is 93. It was on this date in 1802. The first comic book was published in Hudson, New York. It was called The Wasp. In 1968, 3 years after Eric Clapton quit the Yardbirds and 8 months after Jeff Beck left the group, the Yardbirds broke up. Now, guitarist Jimmy Page had to fulfill concert obligations, so he formed a new group, and called it the New Yardbirds. Keith Moon said, it'll probably go over like a Led Zeppelin, so Page changed the group to Led Zeppelin, and then the rock and roll fever rolled on. 1975, Keith Richards was charged with possession of an offensive weapon and reckless driving in Arkansas. Hundreds of teenage girls stormed the jail where he was being held. He was cleared on the charges in August. In 1980, Led Zeppelin played their final show. In 1981, the first girl who was appointed the Supreme Court when President Reagan nominated Sandra Day O'Connor. She retired July 31st, 2006 after more than 24 years on the bench. It was in 1998 that the Bare Naked Ladies released their album Stunt, featuring their breakthrough hit One Week. 2001, Drew Barrymore, she married Tom Green. They divorced 6 months later. There's your Daily Planet for Tuesday, January 7th, 2020. I'm Jimmy Olsen.